Students of class 8, a new lesson, my friend Luke. Now, before we read a story, something is told about a writer and his book published in 1886. The name was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The writer was Robert Louis Stevenson, where he explored the possibility of the same individual having two different types of personality. Now, the question whether you meet a person who shows different behavior and attitude at different points of time. So, if you have witnessed such a person, then why he behaves in that way? You have to find out the possible causes. Now, the author of the story that follows writes an amusing account of his friend Lee, who seems to have two sides of his personality. Now, here you are going to meet a person, Mr. Luke, who has two sides of his personality. Now, let us see what is told about that person. I have a friend who must be the sweetest, shyest person in the world. His name is Luke. His age 40. He is rather short and skinny, has a thin mustache, and even thinner hair on his head. Since his vision is not perfect, he wears glasses. They are small, round, and frameless. So this is a description you get about the physical appearance of the person, Mr. Luke, the person, Mr. Luke. So it is told that sweetest sized person in the world, age is 40, rather short and skinny, thin mustache he has, thinner hair on his head. He has problems with the sight, so he wears glasses. Those glasses are small, round, and frameless. Now, in order not to inconvenience anyone, he always walks sideways. Instead of saying, "Excuse me," he glides by one side. Yet the gap is so narrow that it will not allow him to pass. Like Luke waits patiently until the obstruction, be it animate or inanimate, moves by itself. Stray dogs and cats panic, and in order to avoid them, he constantly crosses from one side to from one side to of the road to another. No, here you are getting something about the personality of that person. He always walks sideways, not to interfere with anyone. Then, not to say "excuse me," he glides by one side, and if the gap is very narrow, that is not going to allow him to pass. Luke waits patiently to allow the other person to pass by, whether it is a living thing or a non-living thing. Alike, he will be waiting and allow it to pass by. Then stray dogs and cats frighten frighten him. So to avoid them, he moves from one end of the road to the other. So this is his personality. He speaks with a very thin voice, so inaudible that it is hard to tell if he is speaking at all. He speaks very lowly, so it can hardly be heard. He has never interrupted anybody. On the other hand, he can never manage more than two words without somebody interrupting him. So this does not seem to irritate him. In fact, he actually appears to happy to have been able to utter those two words. Now, he speaks very lowly. It is almost inaudible. And when he talks with someone, then he hardly says one or two words. And after that, after those two words, he is interrupted by others. He never interrupts anyone, but others interrupt him. And he doesn't have any complaint against that. And he feels happy actually to be able to speak those two words. Now, this one side of the personality of this leaf we have got to know. Let us move on to the next slide to see what is saying. My friend Luke has been married for years. His wife is a teen, choleric, nervous woman uh, who, as well as having an unbearably shrill voice, strong lungs, and a viperous tongue. So these are the characteristics or something about the nature of that lady, the wife of Luke, is described here. That she has a shrill voice and loud, strong, loud voice, strong lungs, and viperous tongue. Very spiteful, poisonous tongue she has. Suffers from an uncontrollable temper. She has a high temper and a personality of a lion tamer. A person who tames the lions, that kind of personality she has. Luke has succeeded in producing a child named by his mother, Joan Manuel. So here you can learn that he is a child named Joan Manuel. He is tall, blonde, intelligent, distrustful, sarcastic, and has something is there that is not in this slide. We will have to till the wait up to that next presentation where you are going to get that. So description about the wife, about the child is being given here. So that much in this presentation. I will come up with new things in the next presentation. Till that time, bye, students. Thank you.